Hi, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here. Again, major scandal in the NFL. Dan Campbell has confirmed that the NFL replay assists in New York were the ones that overturned the Jared Goff touchdown in their loss against the Kansas City Chiefs. This now becomes, for me, the biggest NFL scandal in 25 years. This is bigger than Spygate, which was New England spying on other teams' practices. Even the Super Bowl against Philly that year. They did it against the New York Jets as well in the regular season. That was the whole Eric Mangini thing. You having left New England and came to New York, who accused them of it. Deflategate, which was I think, a lesser issue. You're deflating balls so you could throw them. Not good, but not a huge scandal.
Brady made that worse, destroying the phone. Yeah, he made that worse.
But if the NFL is now, tangibly proven to have invoked themselves into the outcome of a game by having their replay assist in New York City, which is there just to make sure calls are made right. A spot of the ball, a turnover, not penalties. They cannot review penalties. They cannot create penalties. But Dan Campbell just gave you the smoking gun. Again, the Kansas City Chiefs might have won that game anyway. The way they played in the second half, they were the better team. I want to be very clear about that. Now, when you look back on it, though, it's also easy to be the better team when you know the refs aren't going to call any penalties against you. And there were none, zero. They ended that game, 0 accepted penalties against the Kansas City Chiefs, right? And then when you add to it that you're going to have a 10-minute, 18-play drive that culminates in a touchdown, only to have that touchdown taken off the board because New York invoked themselves into the play, well, how can you compete then? You can't. This becomes the biggest scandal in the NFL. You could make the argument of all time. Right? Because there hasn't been a serious, significant gambling scandal, which would be the next biggest scandal, or point shaving or throwing games, which is going to happen at some point because there's too many people gambling for it not to happen. And there are guys active in the NFL today, as a fact, that are gambling on NFL games. They just haven't been caught yet. But it is happening in every sport, not just the NFL. And I know what I'm talking about because I was a compulsive gambler. I am a compulsive gambler. And I also educate leagues and teams and coaches and players about the dangers of irresponsible gambling. All right, so I know what I'm talking about on this. And I just spoke at the NBA Rookie Symposium to every single NBA rookie about gambling and the dangers of gambling when you get to the league, right? But this becomes the biggest scandal, arguably in NFL history. That I'm watching the Detroit Lion Kansas City Chief game. I'd like to think I'm watching two of the best teams in football, and I give Kansas City credit. They've rebounded great from their slow 0-2 start. And they are going to get Rashee Rice back here shortly. We'll get to him in a second. But they don't need the extra help. I know that you've got the most marquee guy playing quarterback for them, the guy that you market everything around. You should. He's a great quarterback and a great guy, by the way. Like, he's the perfect spokesperson for the NFL. Does everything right.
Clean cut, no issues at all.
He even got his brother to shut up.
Yep, he did.
And he got his dad to stop doing stupid stuff. He's the perfect spokesperson, for the NFL. But, man, if the NFL is now reaching out to referees mid-game and telling them to call a penalty that was not called, that affects a scoring play, a turnover, what have you, that's a scandal. Now you've thrown all the integrity you thought you had right out of the window. Now I can't trust the outcome of games because I don't know what the NFL thinks about it. The NFL might feel like, hey, look, we really don't want, the Jaguars and the Colts in the playoffs because they're not big. We can't market them.
Right.
So all of a sudden, are the Texans now going to start getting the benefit of invented calls because we'd rather talk about C.J. Stroud than Danny Jones? I'm making that up.
Yeah, but possible Houston
how could
market.
I now start thinking that?
Houston's a bigger market.
Yeah, bigger market. Yeah. More recognizable quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? Rookie of the year 2 years ago. So this is a real problem for me. And again, for everyone that yells and screams at me and curses me out and reminds me of the worst moment of my life on X every day of the week, this is now proof that I've been right all along.
You were.
I've been right all along, and there is no defense for you attacking me or suggesting that I'm just a jealous Jet fan. I am a jealous Jet fan. I've always known that. You show me a team that wins, I'm by default envious and jealous of a team that shows how to play competent football. But I never thought in my lifetime that Kansas City needed the NFL's help.
They don't, but...
And that's the point.
Yeah.
They don't. Kansas City can win a lot of games on merit. The NFL doesn't trust them to, so the NFL's now just tipping the scales a little bit. Tipping the scales. And it's wrong. It's a scandal. And this should be the only story in sports for the next 72 hours.
I agree. Now, let's talk about the commissioner for one moment. We know that the owners have loved him in large part because he's just a rubber stamp for those owners. Well, now, if he's skewing games for one specific team,
yes,
could this be maybe the first time where Goodell would be vulnerable that this now gets out? Because if I'm Jeff Lurie, if I'm the Jets, Giants, or everybody else, I can't be okay with my commissioner rigging something for one team.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. I've just started reading DeMaurice Smith's book, the former NFL PA head, and he's going to come in here, I think it's next week, and spend an hour with us talking about his experience running the NFL Players Association. Roger Goodell's a mouthpiece for the owners.
Right,
You're dead on right about that. But Clark Hunt, or who's the new Hunt that runs as a Clark?
I think Clark is the new one. I think it was
the Hunt family are not regarded as important owners in the NFL. I've learned that from reading DeMaurice's book. They don't have their voice is not valued when NFL owners get together.
His father was Lamar. It is Clark now.
Well,
it is Clark.
So we'll find out. But to me, this is the worst possible scenario for the NFL because they did it Sunday night, Detroit, Kansas City, which also tells you that ain't the first time.
No way.
They've been doing it, and I can prove that to you by showing you the UTEP study. Like this is now, I like the word empirical. It makes me sound smart. There's now data that backs up everything I've been saying. This isn't just an angry, upset fan yelling and screaming about Kansas City's success. This is now provable. This is now like court of law provable stuff. Your Honor, here's the document. You can't argue against it. And now you've got the head coach, Dan Campbell, who's a known honest teller, telling you the referee told me that they created the penalty from New York. They were told by New York, call that penalty.
Right. He's an honest teller.
Like,
truth teller.
Outside of fixing games by players, this is the biggest scandal this sport has ever had.
It is.
Yeah. How much time I got here? 10 seconds?
Yeah, you counted down.
I didn't get to my Power 5 yet today. We got time. We got time. That's some news and notes. Lots more coming up. Scandalous Wednesday.